Yes, it is still January somehow, but we are inching closer towards February. And I'm kind of glad that January has taken a while because I've managed to get lots of little jobs done on the farm. And as soon as we hit February, I'm into lambing. And I'm not lambing a huge amount, but even though I've only got 21 ewes, I've still got to be waking up at night. So I'm going to be a little bit zombified. So it's nice to get loads of jobs done. How? I've managed to finish painting all of the inside of these hutches. I do want to paint the outside. They're very old now. I want to paint all the outsides, and I've got this all-weather grey paint that I'm going to do that with. And up here is kind of a keep hall for lots of stuff, but it doesn't look very tidy. So I'm going to cut out some cardboard just to put in these slots, so it's more like a shut-away cupboard than all on display. But what I do want to do today, it's going to be super windy tomorrow, so I want to crack on with this today, is I want to refresh the pheasant runs. My friend is a tree surgeon and he has left me all this wonderful bark chip that we're going to use today. So I rebark these pheasant runs about twice a year, and you can see they've really they've lost their magic. They look a bit gross. And these guys could certainly do with some fresh bark and a little bit of a sprucing up. I also want to do a little bit of a rejig because, as you can see, there's a cockerel in here, a Moran bantam cockerel, and he's there because he was getting beaten up and I needed to put him somewhere separate. There's one single Reeves pheasant in here because the rats got in and killed her mate. Great. So I want to move her into the other run with my pheasant pair, so then this male will have 2 pheasant females, and then I want to completely rebark the grey peacock pheasant run as well. You can see that though there is a little bit of bark, that high traffic area where they walk a lot is pretty much just turned to soil. So it definitely needs a fresh sprinkling. I love bark chip days. Look at the old, look at the new. It's just like an instant transformation that I love. You might have noticed my Reeves cockerel's eye in some of that footage, and I don't know what happened. The same night that the rats got in and killed the Reeves cockerel next door, they got in here and they had a fight with this guy. I don't know whether the rats went out and got totally drunk or high on something or just wanted to go out and have a bust up, but they broke in and they had a big old fight. So he lost his eye. And I was really gutted. I really thought, oh gosh, this is game over. I talked to the vet and he was still eating, he was still drinking, he was still acting completely normal, apart from the fact that he had no eyeball. So we gave him antibiotics, gave him pain meds, and I've kept it as clean as I can. And we've just left it. And it's kind of started to grow over. It never got really infected. So we're just I'm just touching in with the vet now and then just to say this is how it is, this is all, but he seems all right. You know, he's acting normal. It's just, you can see there the state of his poor eye. And of course, because it's been open, it's been weeping, and so the feathers on that side are a bit wet as well. But I'm hoping that he will make a full recovery. As I say, he's eating, he's molted, he's fine other than that eye. And animals are remarkably hardy if they have the will to live. You know, sometimes they get an animal and it's poorly and you just know it's going to give up. But most of the time, if they're otherwise healthy, they fight. And whenever an animal fights for it, I'm always going to give it a chance. So fingers crossed, he will be okay. Now, a lot of pheasants are pretty destructive when it comes to greenery. I originally did have some New Zealand flax and some laurel plants in that aviary, but they just destroy them. The aviaries are 6 foot by 15 foot long, and in that space there's just too much traffic. However, I was given a load of Christmas trees for the goats to eat over winter, and actually, look, this is how many they've currently been through. So they've already eaten their way through about 18, but I've had about 60 brought. Some, however, they've been too dry. They've not got good needles enough for the goats to eat. However, they will add a little bit of greenery to the pheasant runs and a bit of cover until spring. And then I'm going to persevere and get some more lavender and some more laurel and see if I can persevere and get those in the aviaries to grow and give some greenery. But for now, we're going to put in some old Christmas trees. And then finally, despite the fact that she rarely ever lays any eggs in her actual nest box, I'm going to put a little bit of straw in just to finish it off. Doesn't that look better? Oh, I love it. I love a bark day. Look how much better that looks. It looks so nice. It won't last like that because animals. If any of you have chickens, you'll know that on a chicken clean out day, everything looks brilliant for about 20 minutes until the animals come in and scratch and poo, but it feels good to get it done. Especially because I know that in February I'm going to be zombified from waking up all the time. So getting these jobs done now means I don't have to do them later in the year, and I can just look forward to coming and looking at the pheasants, collecting their eggs, hatching the babies and all the good stuff. So, 1 down, 2 to go. Number 2 is done. I said a bit earlier that I was going to do some logistics because I actually want this aviary free because I have got a couple of golden pheasant hens from last season and some extra cockerels, so I actually want to put a trio of golden pheasants in here, which means I need to clear out the cockerel and the hen pheasant. Now I was going to do that today, but I've suddenly realised it's actually getting quite close to dark. And why does that make a difference? Because pheasants can be savage in terms of beating themselves up. So I don't want to move this pheasant hen into the other aviary if I don't have a clear day in front of me to be able to keep coming back and checking. A couple of weeks ago, 2 of my Lady Amherst cockerels turned on each other. Last year, the male killed the hen, and I had his son that was reared, and they've lived in perfect harmony ever since in that aviary. But I guess the beginning of spring signalled territorial season, and the son turned on the dad. And so I found the dad like this in the morning, Now he made it because I found him in time, and I've taken him away and given him treatment, and he is now recovering, but it shows how savage they can be. So I will catch her and ring her tomorrow and put her in. And the only reason I'm ringing her isn't so that I can tell the eggs apart, because obviously the eggs will all look the same. It's because she was my first ever hen pheasant I bought. My original pheasants I ever bought were 2 Reeves. It was the cockerel that the rats killed, and this hen pheasant. They are called Adam and Eve because they were the first ones. So I want to ring her just so that I know who she is, and then I'll move her next door. The cockerel may have to go into one of those hutches for the time being. I always like to keep a spare cockerel, especially for my rare breeds, in case something happens. But he can't go back with the other cockerels because they hate him. So he may have to go into the barn and be in a hutch until spring, when flock down is over and we can let all our chickens out and I've got more space. Hey buddy. And there we go, number 3 done. This is the grey peacock pheasant aviary, and I have to say they are probably my favourite pheasant of all the ones I keep. And I think it's because on first inspection they just look grey and a bit dull, and then you look closer up and they are absolutely incredibly feathered. And on top of that, they are called the grey peacock pheasant because the male displays just like a peacock, moving down, fanning his entire tail out. It's blimming wonderful. Gosh, it feels so good to get those done, those 3 done. Oh, they all look so much better. It's now when you think they should have probably actually been done a couple of months ago. But as you've seen from the videos this year, I'm getting through tasks, I'm getting stuff done, so I'm happy it's done. Better late than never. And the pheasants didn't really mind that much. It's more the aesthetics for me. And of course now they do have a little bit of greenery, some fresh stuff to scratch around in. And then of course tomorrow I will move that pheasant hen and that cockerel and put the goldens in here. But now we are getting a lot of rain this afternoon and some very windy weather tomorrow. So I'm going to straw down the ewe pen and get the girls in before I have to go traipsing through a field in the pouring rain to get them. Guys, oh dear, you caught her. It's that time of year, guys. This is not for you.